Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Jase. I'm one of the ASFX coaches for the Austin Silver Investment Group, and today we're going to be recapping USD JPY, a phenomenal pair that I traded this week, and I made up to 5%, having kind of a swing trading bias and turning into a day trading on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be going over how I analyzed the pair, what was the overall directional bias, as well as, my risk parameters, how I entered the trade, how I exited the trade, and then my outcome of the trade. So let's get started. So here we are. This is the chart for USD JPY. So this is basically what I was looking at. So on the start of the day, I saw that price action was bearish. Liquid 50 was in a sell zone. EMAs were bearish as well. And so what my bias overall for today was, it was bearish. But not only that, but if we go toward yesterday, I actually took a D1 trade off yesterday, it was off the 800 and 200 EMA. If we turn on the pivots right over here, it was actually off the daily pivot as well. So my bias was really short bias, and the reason why it was really short bias with this pair is if we could go on we basically go on the 1 hour, you can see bearish divergence. As price is rising, RSI is falling from right over here. So I knew that from literally this big move back. So a couple of weeks ago, we saw this little ship candle right over here that you're risking like 10 pips, and it literally just falls all the way down through the roof, and it goes about 27R. So I knew from this massive move all the way down, we saw a pullback from right over here from last week, and then I was expecting it to basically find a continuation for that downside momentum. So from right over here, we could see that there's a lower high from right here, a lower high from right over here, and then as well as yesterday's move, a lower high from right over here. So that showed me that we were really bearish. We were seeing price action move to the downside and making lower highs. Now this is kind of a technically a D2 kind of a trade, but I was following the trend on the 1 hour and 15 minute. So from yesterday's trade, we saw that a D1 entry presents on top of the daily pivot right over here. And so for me, I was like, okay, so let me show you guys how I analyze it properly. So if we go to the 1 minute yesterday, we saw that there was bearish divergence right over here. So price is rising, and then the RSI is falling, bearish divergence. So from right over here, we saw bearish divergence off the daily pivot. So that for me, I was like, okay, that could be an indication of price action going bearish. So for me, the kind of idea that I had was basically bearish price action. So as we saw here, first break of the 50, and a retest from right over here, not really a retest, but it bounced all the way from here, and then we saw price action fall again from right over here toward the 50/800 EMA. So now from right over here, I saw that price action actually now rejected the 50, went all the way back to this level that I had off since the beginning of the session that I was trading, and it literally rejected off the candle toward this level that I had. It breaks through the 50 and then it finally falls back. So for me, following the D1 signal, I didn't take the first break of the 50. I could have, but I wanted more confluence. So I took the retest of the 50 right over here. The liquid 50 was in the sell zone, as you guys can see here, and as well as the 50-minute RSI was through TL. So I entered basically with this massive candle. Once it broke the 200 EMA, I entered right over here. My stop loss was on top of the structure right over here toward the pin, and then as well as the structure. So I was risking about, I'll say 4 pips, around 5 pips, around probably 6 pips with spread, and it just basically fell all the way down throughout the whole day. As you can see here, there's some bullish divergence telling me that this thing may slow down. So I kept the piece in, and I think I had like 25% in, and so I still have 25% in at the moment. That piece that I have held in is basically my higher time frame bias. So from right over here, we can clearly see that it's bearish divergence, and we're seeing lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. So for me, if we look at the 4 hour, we can see here that price broke through the 21, the 50, and started rejecting off this level, off the daily pivot on the 4-hour right over here. Rejected off this pivot, and we saw bearish divergence kick in, and now we're seeing bearish momentum toward the downside. So right now it's holding the daily pivot on, on the 4-hour right at the current moment. So that could mean, that we could reject off this level toward the upside. But, with my bias being really short bias, especially, if we look at the, if we look at the 4-hour, just bearish price action, EMA, 800 EMA is on top, 200 EMA is right next to it. So, really short bias. If we look at the 1-hour, we see that the EMAs are bearish and the liquid 50 was, holding the sell zone for most of the time. So that's something that I definitely want to see, but there's definitely a lot of, ranging choppiness as well into it. So if we look at the 1 daily, EMAs are bearish, and we have the liquid 50 in the sell zone, holding the sell zone at the current moment. So for me right now, for what I was seeing here, we saw that, price action was, rejecting, and then it came all the way up, and now we're trying to range from this point until we finally saw a breakout from this range from right over here. From right over here, we saw a breakout, which you guys can't see with my drawings. I have insane drawings in here. But yeah, so we finally saw a breakout from this level right over here. And then, we finally went all the way down. We hit the S2 pivot, and now we're trying to reject. We're rejecting off the S1 pivot. And now my bias is that we are going to see a continuation of the downside momentum. So that's why I have that piece in, because I think with the higher time frames in mind, as well as the 1-hour making lower highs, I feel like we'll see some kind of downward momentum toward this level that I have marked up right over here. So right over here I have this level marked up, and so that's basically my initial target that I have for the swing trading idea. So right now, if we look at the 15-minute, this is my notes that I had on this trade. This D1 for today was off the 200 EMA. I didn't take the first break of the 50, or this break as well. I basically just wanted a little bit more confluence before entering this trade. And so whenever I saw bearish price action, and from right over here, I saw a big pin all the way up to the 50 EMA, and then we pinned out. So whenever I see a pin like that, that's a clear indication that buyers are losing control and sellers are quickly gaining control. So for me, that was something in my trading plan that I look for, and I basically entered right over here. So once we broke through the 50 and made basically a retest of a higher low, I entered right as we broke through the 200 EMA. So with this entry, literally it just fell down the whole day. From all the way down about a 7R, which is insane. With this entry in mind, I was risking about 3 pips. It says 2 pips, but was spread around 3.5 pips. So I had a really big lot size in, and I was really able to capitalize a lot of these gains. So a quick 3% for the day on this move today, and then another 2% for the USD JPY from yesterday. So really awesome trades that I've had these last couple of days, today and yesterday, with USD JPY. So yeah, we're just gonna wait. Tomorrow is NFP, so if you guys don't know, non-farmers payroll was a big news event that a lot of traders look for but don't trade because it just has insane volatile momentum. So from tomorrow, I'm probably not gonna trade, but I totally have this piece in at the current moment. So I'm gonna see what we do here with my piece in. So right now, if we look at the piece that I have in, currently I have I'm actually up around 3R at the moment. So I still have my piece in, locked at break even. It's about 25, I think I have around 25% in still from yesterday's move. So yeah, we're just gonna basically see what it does. If NFP kicks it all the way up, I may close the piece that I have left tomorrow in the morning if I see that it's really close to my stop loss at break even, or if I don't see any momentum. So yeah, that's basically going to be the analysis that I had on my trades on USD JPY. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you have any questions, just let me know in the link in the description. As well, if you guys don't know about my coaching package, link in description. It's going to be 4 calls a month, and an awesome opportunity for you guys to get to know me a little bit more, and then as well as for me to share some knowledge, some tips, whether that be trading the system, trading a strategy, trading journals, having the proper back testing for it, and just all these trading psychology and tips that I personally teach you guys. So yeah, offer is going to be limited. I only have a couple of seats left, and the price will be going up. This is actually the last time where I'm going to be doing some type of coaching package. So if you're actually interested, just let me know, direct message me. I'll be more than happy to give you a split payment if you want, or help you out with it as much as I can. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
25.